What's up, y'all? This is Rome. We got Aaron, Jaeson in the house. Time for a little NFL and college football recap. We're just going to recap it all on today's pod. We're recording late Monday night. I was on the road, per usual, to do the 24-hour round trip stuff because the baby mama doesn't want to take one step outside of her house. So you can imagine how difficult that is. But I'll do anything for my baby daughter. So hopefully she remembers this stuff. But I'm pretty exhausted. 16-hour day driving, rental cars, et cetera, et cetera. We did have Monday Night Football tonight, which was, a lot of these primetime games have been pretty bad. They've been pretty bad. This was a little bit better than last week, I got to say. So that's a plus. Did you guys enjoy it?
I mean, it's all right, Rome. I mean, I will say, Rome, you mentioned you did have your baby girl with you. I mean, Steelers got another win, so I guess that holds true. So this week coming up, I will be fading the Steelers, and then I guess taking them the following week.
When
100%, they're playing the Bears this week, so you don't your daughter's not with you, and they're playing the Bears. Auto loss for the Steelers this week.
When they started off bad, I said, Amelia, you got to put on the fucking jersey right now. She's like, what? No. I was like, no, dude, you're putting it on. So I brought her. I took her pajamas off. Like, you're putting on the jersey. She's like, fine, And then all of a sudden, things started happening. I'm just like, I can't believe this stuff, dude. This is like, I don't care how superstitious it is, and it's working. The Steelers jersey, her just chilling right there on the couch.
She putting on the Harrison jersey, or you got a special jersey for her?
Yeah, she just has like a little, it's just a special jersey. Special Steelers jersey. It's like a girl's, crop top jersey,
But it's good luck.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, they're winning again. She's like, I don't know why. She's really embarrassed. But yeah, no, you're right. I don't feel good about this week. I do and I don't. But we'll get to the Steelers in a little bit. Great game from Dak Prescott. Actually, the whole offense. Genty started off hot in that game and then cooled off. I don't know what happened. I really needed him to score 40 points today so I can win my fantasy game week. And it was on Sunday around halftime where I remembered why I quit playing fantasy 10 years ago to begin with. I can't enjoy any game. I was not having any fun. I'm upset at every game that's happening. I'm looking at my team. 6 guys injured, did not play today. I picked up a defense. I picked up a new kicker. I picked up a tight end. I did a lot of things. And then no matter what, Herbert, 6 points. Metcalf did a little bit better, but not great. Genty, 4 points. It's just, I'm sick of fantasy football, man. I don't think I'm going to play it ever again. This is it. I'm just going to get a 4-time fantasy football championship t-shirt done from like 10 years ago and just live with that for the rest of my life.
I mean, it's a common fantasy football experience. I mean, you're complaining. You play in a league where you just pick up like Pro Bowlers in the free agency.
Come on. You're like, we're playing it.
But yeah, if you want real heartburn, Rome, I play in a pretty big league. I had 3 Cowboys on that team. I'm in 7-3 in that league. I'm in first place in the division. I need some points out of Williams, CD, and Ferguson. Got an early touchdown from Ferguson and CD. I'm looking good. I'm down 7 points right there in the fourth quarter. There's a 4th down play to CD in his hands. No one near him to get into the touchdown. I lost all because of that drop, Rome. So that's real fantasy disappointment right there. But you know what?
Called a bad beat. That's called a bad beat.
It's a bad beat. But when you play in a lot of different leagues, Rome, you had some that I blew people out and a couple that I lost in. So it all evens out at the same. So we'll move on to next week.
That's the key, Rome. You're only doing the one league. You got to have like 4 or 5.
No, yeah,
like Jaeson. That way you win at least 2.
I used
maybe
to do
3.
that.
Now, if you go 0-5, you just got to stick your head in the toilet and just keep flushing it till next Sunday. But if you go 5-0, you're just out the happy hour every day. Like, hey guys, I went 5-0 in fantasy football.
Yep.
Who wants advice this week?
I even tweet about it. I'm like, it's halftime, week 11. Now I remember why I quit in the first place. Not having any fun.
Well, you see, like, you got to watch. It's not like you can't watch it all day, Rome. Because I'll tell you, like, one of the leagues in, I've been in this league like 20 plus years with a bunch of buddies of mine. I was projected to win that league. I got I got 30 from Bijan on that team and everything, and everything's looking all right. I don't finish the end of the games because I'm watching the Bears game, and all of a sudden Josh Allen's got 48 points, and I'm projected to lose that by like a landslide at a certain point. So, these things happen.
Who's the rookie running back on the Patriots?
Henderson? Trayvon?
Henderson got it.
That's who I was faced this week. So that guy already had a 30-point lead on me before things even started kicking out. That's before the big dog shit that the Herbert, threw up and the Chargers and a lot of other good teams that just threw up this weekend. Let's just get into it, though, because I am not happy about the fucking Chargers. All right? They finally cracked the top 8 again, and then they threw up another dog doo-doo. I'm done with them. They're just not that good. They're highly inconsistent. We have like a handful of these teams that are good one week, shit the other. Your Jags, you might want to put them in there too as well. I still don't think they're that good, but they put an ass whooping. I'm nominating that ass whooping of the week right then and there. They looked really sharp. I don't know, man. Chargers did not show up at all by any means of the imagination. And they should be really concerned. That's a really tough division. Thank God, KC lost last night. They don't look great either, but everyone's already handing them another Super Bowl just because they played one good game, 2 good quarters. It's like the Packers. They played one good quarter, one good game. What have they done since then? They have a 6-3-1 record. Let's talk about good records and are they good or are they bad? We can add Jason's Bears to that as well. I'm so confused.
Hey,
they're in the division lead, they're number 1.
Bears.
I'm like, what the hell?
You gotta address them as division.
Dude, Jason's like
I don't think I've seen Jason have the biggest smile on his face.
I sent Jason a meme because NFL memes had a good one. He's like, what was it, Jason?
It was yeah, the funny thing about that, Rome, I found that on Twitter about like 12 hours before you sent that to me, because I wanted to repost that on Instagram. I was like, man, I can't. I can only get on Twitter. It won't go on. Won't go on there. Yeah, it was basically a tweet that says, "You expect me to believe it's a coincidence that the perennial chokers of the Chicago Bears become the favorite football team of the Pope, and they start winning like this." And then it was like a highlight montage of all these walk-off wins of the Bears this season with some papal Catholic music behind it.
These are all the games they lost last year, and now it's just like the skin of their teeth, man. Congrats, though, man.
It turns around. I mean, wasn't the
we'll get
was
a
it last year
next
the Vikings 11-2 in one-score games, and now obviously. Well, the tide turns. I mean, typically 1 year you're going to be high, 1 year you're going to be low. You're looking at finishing 6-4, 7-5, kind of in those games. If you're on the 10-2, 2-10 trend, odds are going to reverse the following year typically.
Yeah. All right. So the weekend started. I think we already talked about that. That was on Thursday. Jets, Pats, looking really impressive. Then we had Commanders, Dolphins in Madrid. I actually caught the second half of that game.
Good game. It was a fun game.
Wasn't that bad. Commanders are just banged up. They don't got a lot to go there, but at least Dolphins still playing for their coach. Packers, Giants, our first push of the year. I think a lot of people's first push of the year, and we've been pretty close by like half a point here and there. I really have no comments on that. It was really fun to see Jameis Winston come out and play. Had like this crazy 10-yard tush push. Like, who gets 10 yards out of a tush push? It's like falling forward and being all clumsy. But they made it really competitive. Texans with a really ugly but kind of a fun game a little bit, at least in the fourth quarter. Nico Collins came out. Panthers, once again, man, they came back from the dead. And if you look at the stats, I think I texted you guys, Young killed it with like 4 touchdowns, right? Over 350 yards, whatever it was.
3 touchdowns, 448.
Yeah, didn't he have like 448?
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Panthers record.
Wild, and like that's like his I think that's like his 12th comeback from behind win since last year.
Yeah, but
it's wild.
Rome, I think I'm just gonna declare it now. I don't know. We've put teams like in the dead pile. Might as well add the Falcons to that list. They're no longer on life support. They're done. They're dead. Bury them.
You want to add them?
Yeah, they're for real.
Penix is out for the rest of the year. He doesn't look good this year. Yeah, Falcons are done, dude. Where is that list? Any games that kind of stuck out, for you guys this past Sunday? Good, bad, ugly, best win. Go ahead and nominate stuff, whatever you guys want to do.
I want to go back to the top of your program, Rome, when you were talking. Oh, we found the list. List has been found.
The list, yeah.
Do you want to recap the teams that we have written off so far?
Yeah, we started this.
Maybe we can add some teams.
I didn't write the week on here actually. Oh, I think it's week 6 in the NFL. We knocked off the Jets, Titans, Browns, Saints, Dolphins, and Raiders after week 6. Shortly after, we did add the Cardinals, and then we added the Giants. Me and you, Jaeson, we added them at week 9. Still like watching them play, but they're done. Now we're going to add the Cardinals, who were on the life support list. So they graduate here in week 11. We still had for those on the list from week 6, Bengals, Ravens, and Cowboys. Are they still on life support?
Bengals are off life support. They're done. They're dead.
Bengals are dead?
Yeah, they're dead.
Should we cross them off?
Yes.
Okay. Bengals as well. And you know what? I know Ravens won, but they don't look very good at all. I'm sorry.
They won 4 in a row.
They have. There's a lot of teams winning that are not playing really good football. This is a weird year, dude. This is a weird year.
They're sitting one game behind your Steelers for the division.
I know, dude. I'm stressed out already. All right, look, I just drove all day today. I'm having a beer.
All right, well, calm down.
Right.
Yeah, you said the Falcons. Put them on the list. Commanders. Did we talk about them?
They're not on the list at all.
I think 3-8, Aaron. I think we got to say they're done as well.
Yeah, they're done.
They've lost 6 straight.
You do not want to, right? We're adding to the list for sure.
Yeah.
Falcons?
Yeah, they're 3-7.
Yeah.
3-7, yeah.
Dude, we are graduating a lot of teams this week.
Listen, if you don't want to lose the Commanders-Bears game of any season, because when you lose that game, your season's just over with. Commanders have lost 6 straight since that loss, starting with that loss to the Bears. If you think of the Bears a year ago where they lost 13 straight or whatever the heck it was after they lost the Hail Mary game.
I don't think they won until the last game when they beat the Packers because the Packers sat everybody.
Yeah, and it was the start of a new year. It happened in 2025. It didn't even happen in the 2024 season.
So we just crossed off 1, 2, 3, 4 teams today. That gives us 6, 7, 8, 12 teams gone after week 11. That's a lot of teams. But then we have a lot in the middle of the pack, so it's still pretty competitive.
I mean, if we're taking off 12, that leaves 20 teams for 14 playoff spots. So, okay.
Not bad. Yeah, but anybody want to talk about one of these games here that kind of stuck out? Good, bad, ugly, best win, ass whooping?
Well, I want to start. You started with it, so you went with ass whooping, and you wanted to talk about Chargers Jags, and you posted earlier in the year ripping Aaron and I for the Liam Cohen defense and where he was at, and I think Aaron and I looking at that game, we I weren't feeling it. I think
we
overall
both took the Chargers, but we had doubts.
It was creeping. Didn't kind of know where it was going to go, but they're creeping.
I did mention it was a trap game. I was like, oh.
You did mention it was a trap game. If there's one thing you want to say about the Chargers is they cannot play in the Eastern time zone.
0-4 against the spread.
Really? All on the East Coast?
All on the East Coast.
You got Giants.
Did not cover. Miami did not cover. Tennessee did not cover. Jacksonville did not cover.
Jesus,
1-2. They're 2-2, but 0-4 against the spread.
Wow, that's not good. Okay.
So I think we can look at future stuff. We may talk ourselves into Jim Harbaugh, but can't play in the Eastern time zone. And the Jags, I think the most impressive thing about it, Aaron was on this since the beginning of the year, was the Liam Cohen run game. And I think this was full on display where you had both running backs in the Jacksonville backfield getting carries. You had 19 carries from ETN, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. You had, is it Tutton?
I believe it's Tutton.
Tutton, he had 15 carries, 74 yards for a touchdown. So you had, equal share of the backs behind Lawrence, able to get the run game going. 192 total team rushing yards. You had Lawrence get a few yards and some carries as well too. So I think that was the key when you think about where the Buccaneers in some of these key games as Baker was able to get going. They were able to get Bucky Irving and other guys in Tampa under that Liam Cohen offense. This is what Aaron highlighted at the beginning of the year. I think there may have been some games here where the running game was going, but I think this was in such a dominant fashion that they were able to control the clock in this game, get the running game going, open things up for Trevor Lawrence. Didn't have to have him do a ton, because if you look at Trevor Lawrence's numbers, he only threw 153 yards with a touchdown and a pick. It wasn't overly impressive, but the ball control that they had overall for this game, I think that kind of told the story and kind of the overall blowout. And then I think defensively for the Jags, I think that's where it was because they didn't allow. You mentioned Herbert. 81 yards and an interception, got absolutely nothing going offensively for that.
He had no
Chargers team. So
either.
Yeah, so they got questionable protection, or else they're just not awake at. It's 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 p.m. in the East. They just can't get up and waking up for that game. So who knows? But I think Ass Whoopin of the Week, Rome, you had it right on top of the show. That would have been my nominee as well. So
This gives the Jags.
That's a clean sweep. Clean sweep for Ass Whoopin of the Week, Rome.
This gives Jags surprisingly like another signature win. Every time they win, it's been really nice. They beat a really pesky, really good defense in the Texans. They got a good win against the 49ers, their first win here on the West Coast in a long time, I think ever. They got a win against the Chiefs early in October.
They beat the Texans.
Yeah. And then now they got the Chargers. So
crazy. I mean, we came into this game, obviously Liam Cohen's our guy, but we came in kind of low on him. I mean, they had that game in London against the Rams and just got blown out. Went into the bye.
Rams are
beat a Raiders team, and what was that? In overtime. Remember, they stopped the 2-point conversion. Tipped the pass by Geno. Had the Texans beat and give up. What was it like? I don't know, 20-something points there in the fourth quarter, whatever it was, and the Texans come back and shock them.
Yeah, that's nice.
So they were trending in the wrong direction. Chargers had bounced back and won 3 in a row ever since the game I was at SoFi against Minnesota. The defense had seemed to figure things out. We talked about when we were making the picks, like, I don't know about the Chargers going into I had forgotten about the Titans game. I mentioned the first two, and I'm like, oh, then I went back. I'm like, oh, damn, the Titans, that's right. They're 8.5-point favorite, only won by 7. And they just didn't show up. I mean, they got a bye week this week, but obviously they were already on a bye. They might as well just camped out. They camped out in Disney World there in Florida.
They barely showed up.
They didn't show up. I think Jaeson said it best. I mean, Jacksonville just ran it down their throat. There's nothing worse than a team when a team would just run it down your throat, line up, fullback, halfback, and say, look, we're going off tackle. We're going in between the guards. You can't stop us. They did what they wanted to do there. Defense shut them down. I mean, the Chargers, we talked about it. They've got plenty of weapons on the outside, but the running backs are all banged up. And, their O-line is really banged up too. 3/5 of their starters are out from their projected starters coming into the season. So, I mean, it was an ass whooping. There's no doubt about it. But I expect Harbaugh and those guys to kind of regroup. They come back from the bye. They get the lonely Raiders. They'll likely beat them by double digits when they come out of that. And they're projected still to make the playoffs. Jacksonville, that win over Kansas City, as you mentioned, keeps the Chiefs at bay, which I believe they're the number 9 seed right now in the AFC. So it's a big win for Jacksonville, who still, if I'm not mistaken, let me look at their schedule here, has 2 games of Indianapolis for the Colts. So they still got a lot to play for, Jacksonville.
Yeah, the only concerning thing about the Chargers, this is like their 3rd or 4th game that they just didn't show up. I think they got lucky to win one of those, but it's so atypical, like a Jim Harbaugh team. It's just vastly different than his past teams.
Well, if I'm looking at the Chargers schedule right now, they don't have any more Eastern time zone games, so that might be a good thing for them.
Going back to the Jags, you mentioned their schedule, Aaron. Yeah, they get 2 games against the Colts. Probably be the hardest, the 2 hardest games that they have. The rest of their schedule, super manageable. You play a ton of bad teams down the stretch. The only 2 teams above 500 they're playing are the two games against the Jets and then the game against the Broncos. And so other than that, they got a healthy dose of 2 Titans games, a Jets game, a Cardinals game. I said 2 Titans, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of winnable games for the Jags down the stretch where, even if they somehow split those Colts games, lose the Broncos game and win all these other games, like, you're looking at, only a 6-loss team, 11-6 is probably getting you in.
Yeah, I think 11-6 definitely, and
for sure.
10-7 is probably safe to get in right now as well. What are they, 6-4 sitting right now? So I mean, 11's a magic number for sure. You're in, but you got to get to at least 10 to be considered for the dance.
100%. A lot of close games this week. Big wins. I'm going to nominate the Bills in that one. That was a really fun game against the Bucks. That did not disappoint at all. Josh Allen was just Josh Allen. He just completely killed it. Man, nothing's really, Rams against the Seahawks. I know
Big win.
Seahawks
That's a
still
big
had
win.
a chance to come back. Bad game from Darnold. Say what you will, a lot of interceptions. Maybe didn't have like the best.
Hey, be careful. Be careful what you say about Sam Darnold, because as
I like him.
Ernest Jones said, you can stick it. You can stick it, man, if you got anything bad to say about him.
I was kind of thinking, like, because Jaeson's been pretty tough on Sam Darnold in the past here on the pod.
I don't think so. I think he's been pretty. I mean, he loves Caleb in that division, but that's his guy. But I mean, look, at Sam Darnold, criticism is fair. I mean, he has multiple games against big teams where he shows up.
Well, at the end of last year, and of course,
the Rams are his
who plays for the
kryptonite
Jets is bad. Sam
Everything
Darnold
for the Jets
reminds
is
me
bad.
of Rocky IV, the Russian fighter. What's his name? Anyways, once he's fighting Rocky, right? He hasn't lost ever in his life, but once he gets punched really good and he starts seeing blood, his demeanor changes. He loses confidence. That's Sam Darnold, because this guy's like a bullet. This guy's like a machine, week in and week out. Last year, this year, once he sees blood, though, once he gets punched in the face, once his team gets punched in the face, it changes so much, and that's what happened here with the Rams.
Ivan Drago,
there you go. Thanks. It's late.
Yeah. I didn't get that. I don't remember my my Darnold takes on that. I know end of last season when you're talking about the last 2 games of the year. I mean, that was just common consensus for a team that had won 14 games, gets blown out on the last game of the season in the showdown with the Lions, and then where you in the playoffs. But I mean, the Seahawks have been one of the better teams, if not,
they're good.
I mean, I don't know where you got. I forgot you had in the power rankings, but you're talking probably a top 8, top 5 team in the league, and they've been really good. I mean, not the greatest game for Darnold, but Rome, I texted you privately. I said if Darnold was playing against the Bears or the Vikings right now, the Vikings would have won that game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a whole Vikings question on what they got at quarterback. But I think it's a tough game. The Rams are a really good team. You mentioned the loss the Jags had to the Rams. At that time, you're like, oh, this is a blowout. But the Rams are coming to their own. Rams are, they are a top 2 team in the NFC right now. You're looking at Eagles, Rams, potentially NFC Championship game. Now, if you're looking to the top 2 teams, the NFC and the Rams, this was, Seahawks Rams probably was game of the week right now. And while it wasn't the prettiest game overall with the turnovers and stuff, I mean, that's what you're expecting. It's like 2 elite teams on both sides of the ball. They're playing each other. I mean, Sam Darnold needs to step up in one of these games, but even with that, he had a chance to tie the game there on the last drive of the game. So it's like that wasn't completely out of reach.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold, 4 interceptions, I believe he had?
Yeah.
But like Jason said, he did bring them back. They were down 21-12, led them on a touchdown. They just ran out of time. They just didn't have enough time. He was leading them on another drive. A 61-yard field goal came up short. But Seattle's really good. I'm not worried about them. These guys had won, 10 straight on the road going in. Probably their only last loss on the road might have been here at SoFi against the Rams. The Rams are a really good team. Only losses against the Eagles in a game that, let's be honest, they had won early in the year. Special teams let them down in a big way in that game. And then the 49ers, without 7-9 starters, maybe they kind of were laughing at them. And, 49ers showed up. They came back and got revenge last week. They showed the 49ers what's up. So the Rams are really good. I think, Rome, you have them number 1 in your power ranking. I would agree with that right now. They are the number 1 team. So that was a big win. I mean, I thought there was a number of big wins. The Rams have a big win. Carolina going on the road, coming back in the 4th quarter with a big win.
Big.
I think we're overlooking the importance of the Broncos win. Rome, you haven't been high on them, but I thought Bo Nix and that offense delivered when they need to.
I thought they looked guys. They look
and they're
good.
without a lot of guys.
Good.
They're without a lot of starters
too.
So I mean, Denver. This AFC is really shaping up right now with Denver. The Colts were on a bye. It's going to be interesting to see how the playoffs play out because I think home field's going to be big. Getting the Colts, they're going to need home field because they're not going to want to go to Denver or somewhere cold. I don't like Daniel Jones below 30-degree weather in the playoffs. I don't trust him. But in that Indy Dome with Jonathan Taylor, I like him a lot more.
Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, very similar, man. They're playing lights out, but once they see blood, we'll see how they react, especially in the playoffs. Jones has that look too.
Well, Jones did have 6 turnovers against your guys, the Steelers. So
yeah. Speaking of other big wins,
he actually had mouth like
he did, yeah.
So
but I mean, he actually when he saw his own blood or tasted his own blood, he had a little Hannibal Lecter out there. He showed up, he delivered, got it done there in overtime. So in Berlin there. So
we'll yes, Eagles, man, the Eagles-Lions game, which was fucking awful. And everyone was criticizing like the last pass interference call, which was complete bullshit. Hate to see a game end like that. Lions still had a chance. I don't know. It was just an off day for golf as well. Bad game.
Can't play outdoors in the cold, man.
And Eagles, they picked up somebody at the trade deadline. He had a good game. That defense is really stout. Eagles still winning very ugly. Hurts not going to impress you by any means, but they just find a way to win every single game. This was really huge. And the Lions, my one criticism is they always go for it on 4th down. There was some points that they could have had it. I 2 field goals for sure. I could have sworn there was like a third one. That's 9-point swing right there. I was not happy just watching that game. It was really frustrating to see. And I know Dan Campbell, a lot of people were criticizing the play calling, but it was like a little too much bravado for my taste when this is like every point counts in these type of games. I was really upset. And they still had a chance to win. They still had a chance to win despite all that. What do you guys think of that game?
I mean, yeah, I was going to ask Aaron. You kind of called it the play calling that Campbell's taking over right now,
bad,
and it produces 9 points.
It was not good. It was not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good. I mean, that PI call at the end of the game was ridiculous. I mean, the referees, I thought, missed some other stuff. I mean, they called a false start on a tush push when the guy literally had his arm just sitting there, and the guy was touching him for an hour. Like, hey, ref, look, dude. I don't know what the ref is looking on that.
At least social. There's a funny meme too. There's like Patrick Mahomes, like in the X-Men outfit, looking at like the referees call the plays or like call the calls that they used to get, but now they're calling it for the Eagles. Eagles are like the NFL's darling right now. They're getting a lot of bullshit calls in a lot of these tough games. We can debate that moving forward if we see it as a trend, but really tough loss for the Lions and basically put Jason's Bears in first place, which what the fuck?
Yeah, we'll get into Jason's Bears. I mean, look at Dan Campbell, like you mentioned, Rome, they were 0 for 5 on 4th down. Sometimes you just got to take points when they're given to you. I mean, you couldn't kick a field goal really over 40 yards in the first half because of the wind.
That's okay.
They had a stupid penalty on a touchdown celebration by Williams that led to a missed extra point. And Philly just did enough in the run game, got AJ Brown more involved. So, I mean, I was shocked because I saw the standings for the NFC. I made a bold prediction in week 1 that the Lions would not make the playoffs. Currently, I was thinking about not in the playoffs. That might be a take that we move to the forefront here in the next 2 months. I'm really loving that. Maybe we should bust that out on the socials because that is looking mighty, mighty good right now.
They're in the danger zone. It's getting kind of dicey.
They're a little, there might be a life support here if we're not too careful. But they got the Giants coming up.
Where we go? Should we just stay in that division? Jason, your Bears, the cardiac kids. That's what we should call them. The cardiac Care Bears.
I don't know if that one's going to take off, but yeah, I think cardiac kids was said on the broadcast. Yeah, I mean, huge win for the Bears. I mean, you're talking about my big smile and where they're at. Yeah, 7-3. I think there are 4 coaches in Bears history since George Halas, the owner, founder of the team, that have had a 7-3 start.
Really?
It was like Mike Ditka, Lovie Smith, Matt Nagy, and now Ben Johnson. Like someone even said, is Ben Johnson on the Mount Rushmore of Bears coaches already? 10 games in of where he's at.
Christ.
So,
I did like the stat where it says Matt Eberflus's road wins over 4 seasons, and it's like 4 games, and here he has 6 in his first 10 games of the year. Is it 6?
Yeah, he's got 4 road wins in 6 games.
Yeah.
So I think he's already equaled Eberflus's entire tenure. So yeah, I mean, just it's those things, they all been close. There's a lot of critics that, the Bears haven't played the toughest schedule, which they haven't. And they haven't blown anyone out. I think their biggest blowout was the game I was at versus Dallas, was their first win of the season. And they really opened things up against a bad Dallas defense. But the rest of these games have been super close. And you've had, moments down to the end. What they've proven, though, is they can win these close games regardless of who they're playing. And, Caleb has been, clutch when it mattered most at the end of the game. I still think there's tons of questions. I think there's tons of flaws in this team. Like, I'm sitting here 7-3. Like, yeah, it's not great defensively. If they don't get a turnover, they're probably going to lose the game. But in this game, JJ McCarthy gave them those turnovers that made it, made it something and gave them the right field position. I think the biggest thing in the offense, they dominate the run. They're able to get the run game going. Since the bye week, they've been, like the second leading rushing team in the league, where they have something with Swift and Manungai, but they don't score touchdowns. And that's always the thing watching these games, is like they get within the, in the 10-yard line or within the 5, and they don't convert. They don't convert these drives to touchdowns all the time. And that's where they leave Minnesota lingering in this game, where I never felt confident up 16-3. And you're saying this is a 2-possession game, that Minnesota wasn't going to come back. And they did. And it was 100% there. You needed a big return by Duvernay. And then after Santos missed one like 10 minutes prior, he's able to kick the game-winning field goal. So I'll be the first to admit the Bears are flawed, man. Watching those games is stressful. I think my heart was skipping beats in certain ways, during that game, but things have lined up well. But this is year 1 of Ben Johnson, and I'm not delusional to say, hey, Bears going to win the Super Bowl. Like, they're a flawed team. It's going to take a lot for them to say year 1 is Super Bowl. They're building something here. But I think these are the good, building blocks of what's going to go take off in the future, because I'm super impressed continually with the offense is. There's just a couple things that they're going to continue to work on and get better at. They have the big plays. Now it's just about consistently drive over drive. Like, how are you taking that first half and be up like 20-0 in the first half versus sitting around only up 10-3? There's ways that they need to convert more points, and I think they'll find a way.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears got what do they got here? They got the Steelers coming up, and then a big game on Black Friday against the Eagles at Philadelphia.
Tough schedule coming up.
So they've got Green Bay a couple times here, 49ers, Detroit. So I mean, we're gonna find out a lot about the Bears right now as we finish towards the back stretch here. But I mean, 7-3 is impressive. They've won, like Jaeson said, 4 games on the road. That's a good feat. It's not easy to win on the road in the NFL, and you got to go and get turnovers. I think for Minnesota, the question is, what are you getting from JJ McCarthy? Like, he's yet to win a home game, too inconsistent. I mean, I saw Justin Jefferson. The Bears were throwing linebackers out there to cover him, and Justin Jefferson or JJ McCarthy throwing the ball 5 yards over his head. So, I mean, the inconsistencies in the throwing game from him. And then when he does make a good pass, the guys are surprised that he makes a good pass and they drop it.
He had a lot of drop passes. It's still like only like the 4th or 5th start by him. So I'm not too worried about that. He's still making some plays. They're like, oh shit, okay.
I mean, he can make some plays. I mean, what's weird is the first 3 quarters against the Bears in both games, he's been bad. And then the 4th quarter, I don't know, like a light switch turns on and he's just really, really good.
It's always the 4th quarter.
Like the 4th quarter, like you watch what the Vikings were doing offensively, and the Bears aren't anything great defensively. We've seen, Bengals and other teams drop 30, 40 points on these guys. So I expect this to be a high-scoring game. That's why the total was 48.5. And Minnesota's just really, really inconsistent. You guys touched on early. What would they, if they had Sam Darnold, they're likely winning this game. And, I get why they moved off Sam Darnold. You get a rookie quarterback who you like. You get him on that contract. You can, supplement the money elsewhere to your roster. They still got a good defense. Brian Flores is still a very good coordinator. Likely, with the lawsuit that he had against the NFL, is not going to be up for an NFL gig. He'll get interviews, but he's probably not going to get one. So he'll be back as a coordinator next year. And we'll see what JJ McCarthy grows into. But
we'll see.
He's got the win against Detroit. He got the Bears win. 2 wins. If you look at him play, you're like, how did the Bears lose against this guy week 1? And how did he beat Detroit? Detroit coming off a bye that led to Dan Campbell taking play calling duties over. So, I mean, that division right now.
It's a deep division. Even the last place team is really good. So,
yeah, I think Jaeson really and I've touched on it. It's probably the best division in football.
I know you guys said that. That wasn't true last year. You guys were just gloating, but it might be this year. I like it.
I mean, there's 3 playoff teams out of that division, and they won like 12, 14.
Well, they all went out in the
first
round,
something like that. That's fair. I mean, you're going to compare it against the you're going to compare it against the NFC West right now.
I don't think 3 go out this year.
I hope
NFC
not.
North's only going to get 2.
That means I'm likely right about Detroit.
I think Detroit's okay right now. The Bears, though, let's talk about their games, though. They have a pretty tough stretch. What's realistically what they're going to end up with?
Well, they got 7 wins. I say, just off the top of my head, I say they beat Pittsburgh, lose at Philly, lose at Green Bay. I think they beat Cleveland and Green Bay. 49ers is a toss-up game. Both teams are probably going to have a lot to play for. I'll say the 49ers beat them, and Detroit-Chicago is a playoff eliminator game to end the season. And I think the Bears beat them.
Wow. So they end up with 11 wins?
That's what I think.
They go 4-2?
Was that 4-3? Yeah.
Jaeson.
But Jason's the Bears expert, so we'll see what he feels. He might feel 5-2. But I think 4-3 is safe.
I'd have to go back. 10-11 wins is where I said at the beginning of the season for them was going to be realistic in their schedule, and I think they're pretty much exactly where I thought they'd be right now. I thought it was different. Probably different. That Ravens game was I thought was a loss where they play in Lamar, but they lost to a backup quarterback there. And I didn't envision the first loss at the beginning of the year, but I thought a split with the Vikings, split with the Packers, and split with the Lions is likely. So are you looking back on what I picked, Rome? A lot of losses.
I am.
I got some bets with some friends too on where some things are at, but it's around the 10 win marker. So 10-7 to me seem realistic. I agree with Aaron. They got the Steelers game up, which could be tough, but you might not get Rodgers. They're going to luck out there. They're going to play a Browns team, which isn't great. And then I think the Packers are flawed. That's not a. Normally I go into Packers games for the last decade plus with Aaron Rodgers that we have no chance. The Packers offense isn't great. I don't know if they have any sort of identity. And Jordan Love, if he turns the ball over, this is where the Bears defense and this is how they wins games. You're telling me he doesn't turn the ball over in either of those outings. I think Aaron's right. I think probably the game at Soldier Field, the more likely one. But I think there's an easy pass for them to be winning 10-11 games.
Do you guys recall what you guys predicted for the Bears? Position in the division and under. It was 8.5 wins, by the way.
I know I definitely took the over 8.5.
You did.
And I'm pretty sure I picked them second in the division behind the Packers.
You did not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you had Lions, Packers, Bears, then Vikings. You were being conservative, but you did say 9 to 10 wins for the Bears. Okay. So 2 more and you hit that mark. Aaron had the under 8 wins.
Oh, under 8.5?
I had the over 8.5. You said 8. They're gonna win 8. So I wrote 8. But yeah, we all had them third. I had them second. I had Lions, then Bears, then Packers, then Vikings. So kind of crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. 5 of those games are definitely losable. If they can go 4-3, I think that's really good. So it'll be tough, man. It's not gonna be good for the Detroit Lions. They gotta step it up. All right. Let's circle back, man. Worst loss or bad loss? Worst loss? We already talked about the Lions, so I don't think we need to delve into that. Ravens got lucky to escape the Browns.
Probably.
I would not say the Chiefs is a bad loss because they just lost to a better, more talented Broncos team.
I mean, I would call it a bad loss. I mean, they were favored coming off a bye. Andy Reid was 22-4.
That's
tough.
They're
5-5 right now.
They're 5-5.
The AFC. The AFC is deep right now because, I mean, the Chargers and Jaguars all have tiebreakers over them right now because they beat them. Obviously,
They lost.
Obviously, the Chiefs play the Chargers again here in a couple weeks. But
this is the Chiefs. They got the Colts next, Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean,
Texans.
Chiefs got the Colts coming off a bye.
Yeah,
it's not going to be an easy game.
Then they got Chargers, Titans, Broncos, and Raiders. So at least they got all divisional games at the end.
Yeah, I think Aaron's calling this right when I think it is the Chiefs. I think just when you look at the tiebreakers you're talking through, and you got a team in the playoffs outside looking in right now, and as far as like winning the division, that's a pretty big gulf. It's 3 games difference in the division, 3.5 to the 9-2 Broncos. I think they're only saving grace is probably the Chargers haven't stepped away, but the Chargers 7-4 right now, Chiefs at 5-5. Like they're still a game and a half back, and you got a lot of middle records there with Texans now up to 5-5. We talked about the Jags early. Ravens have clawed their way back to 5-5 with your Steelers sitting at 6-4. So I mean, there's a lot there, and if you don't have the tiebreakers of the Chiefs, I think Aaron's probably right on this one.
Yeah, this is a big game against the Colts because if they go to 5-6, I mean, Thanksgiving, say what you want against Dallas. It's not going to be an easy game. I mean, Dallas can score. That defense, I don't take a lot away from what they did against the Raiders. The Raiders are a bad offense, but won't be easy. And then they got Houston, and Houston's playing well. We know they got a really good defense, so that's going to be a tough game. So they got Houston Chargers. I mean, nice games at Tennessee, at Raiders to basically 2 of the last 3 games. Still get Denver, but they lose this game against the Colts. I'm putting them on life support if they lose that game because it's going to be very difficult to get back in, considering that we're all expected Jaguars to beat the Cardinals. I don't think that's going to be easy. It's not a guarantee, but I would say they got to get that win and could be really separate themselves from the Chiefs if the Chiefs were to lose against the Colts. Colts coming off a bye. This is a big game for the Colts. They got to prove themselves against an elite AFC team. Steichen will have those guys ready. That's going to be a good game. Maybe the game of the week.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to look around. No, yeah, it's getting pretty tight. It's pretty muddled in the middle, which we haven't had this in like years past where like it's so muddled in the middle. We've had like the shitty teams kind of bounce out by week 6. We already kind of established that. We got the elite teams. We got several 2 lost teams and they're running here in both conferences, and no sign of anyone really slowing down, really. Yeah, besides those games though, nothing really sticks out for me. Yeah, Purdy looked great. Brock Purdy looked great. Steelers, Rodgers, is he gonna be out? He might.
Looks like he's going to be out, but he looks like he wants to make every effort to play. So I hope he plays.
He might be in a cast. Oh.
He wants to show back to Soldier Field because he is part owner of that team.
He loves it.
I would love nothing more than him to have that hubris and get back on the field and throw the dire interception that the Bears defense wants at the wrong moment.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a Hollywood ending there. Either he goes there and breaks the Bears' heart, or the Bears finally get over the hump and it's a sale of ownership, and now Rodgers goes into the sunset and the Bears maybe win the division finally without Rodgers there.
I really need the Steelers to win this one.
It's a big game for both teams.
Yeah, it's huge. Any other comments for the NFL? No. By the way, Jamar Chase, man, I don't think 1 game suspension was enough. I saw that big-ass loogie. He's a dirty player. I don't like him. I'm siding with my guys. He deserves 2 games suspension for that loogie. And then the audacity that says that he didn't open his mouth to that guy or like say anything.
I would agree.
Lying in front of everyone's faces.
Rome, the fact that he lied resulted in another game. I'm going to agree. It's 2 games. This is what should he get? If he came clean and said, yeah, I did it, 1 game. But since he lied and the evidence is there, 2 games is a penalty he should have received.
I know they're a rival for the Steelers, but I generally like Burrow, Chase, and company. That was the end of it, though. That shit to Jalen and the guys, I'm not rooting for them anymore. I hope they lose every other game from here on out. Time for Burrow to find a new team. All right, let's switch it up, man. Let's transition really quickly. We'll do like a quick recap on college football because we had a hell of a weekend in college picks again. It's just been a rough couple of weeks for us. But we started hot though. We started hot. All the other experts, they did not. Had a one or two good weeks.
I think to our credit, we started hot college, cold NFL. We kind of wanted to, we kind of put our focus back towards the NFL. That's the breadwinner of everybody. We wanted to get back in the win column there. We have turned it around. Unfortunately, we've kind of taken a dive like Penn State here in the college picks lately. Just can't get off the schnob.
I don't know if we can say everyone's Penn State. I would say me particularly has been Penn State when it comes to college. So with that, I'm going to be taking a 1 week suspension from this Wednesday's college football show. I will let Aaron go back it alone. I think we need to change what we're doing, make a change of to roster setup. So I'll let you guys this Wednesday do next week's college football picks, just the two of you guys to reset. I don't know when the last time I won a college football bet based on
Was it when you were not coming on this show?
I'm pretty sure it was. So I really I need to be.
Jaeson Jaeson is 0-7. He's not won in the last 3 weeks.
Dude, has it been since? Oh my God, it's hilarious. I didn't even realize that.
I'm pretty sure the timelines line up. So I think I need to take a break. Aaron needs to just do the show, give the words of wisdom and the locks out there. He's pretty good. But it hasn't worked out well for me. Aaron gave me a lot of credit for having good reads at Notre Dame, maybe Clemson here or there.
And they should have went with that.
We should have went with that. Dude,
should have went with
Dude,
Rome. I tried to lead
I was talking to Aaron.
I tried to lead him into it.
I was talking to Aaron about the Clemson game. Like, I don't know, man. Like, Jaeson kind of talked me into it. I kind of want to lean that one. You should just, the Notre Dame and the Clemson one would have been, I don't know. The numbers are showing, I don't know.
So here's the thing. Jaeson has been right. 3 teams Jason's been right about a lot. He's been on the USC train. He's been on the Clemson train. He's been on the Notre Dame train.
You guys got so fucking lucky.
So
I'm just not buying it. I'm so sorry.
I actually think you're wrong in the USC front, Aaron, because I was wrong on them versus Illinois, and now I was wrong on them since Iowa. So if they play any of my Midwest schools,
you were right against Notre Dame with them.
Stay away from the Midwest.
I was.
It's like Texas against Georgia. They just.
I will say this. I do like USC to cover 10.5 against Oregon this weekend. I think it's going to be a close game.
Dude.
USC's got a lot to play for. I mean, they went out. They're in the playoff.
They do, actually. How'd you do in your locks this week?
0-3, I believe. Was Texas a lock?
It was a lock.
Okay, yeah, I was 0-3 then. It was not a good lock week because I had Texas, I believe, right? I had the over in Cincinnati, Arizona, which was 56. They finished with 54 since Arizona missed 2 easy field goals. And then we had the over in Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh just couldn't score when they got down inside the 10.
First 0-3 week?
I believe so.
Oh, man.
So I'm saying we got to switch the vibes up. We need something down the stretch, and I think suspending me from the show this Wednesday is the right call.
What do you have this Wednesday? You got an
engagement?
No?
He's getting ready to go to Vegas for F1.
When do you leave?
Not till Friday. But there's a lot of things we need to get cert. We need to get.
He's got a scheduling conflict. He's got some F1 podcasts he's got to get on.
Are you gonna change your Pirelli tires like halfway through the Vegas?
Yeah, 100%. Just we'll start with the with the hards, but I mean I don't know. There's a lot of rain right here. We're gonna probably need the intermediates there and maybe the wet weathers as we go through the Cajon Pass. So
by the way, dude, it is dangerous driving a car without my BMW X5 with the sports package. It's just not the same in the rain. Like this is what everyone else drives in, and these shit. Like today, I drove a Nissan Versa, whatever that is. Okay. It was scary driving in the rain. It was like you couldn't see 20 feet in front of you. Big rigs.
The big rigs, dude.
I slid.
Yeah.
I almost slid and hit another car. Like I caught it in time because people usually brake. You don't want to brake when you're sliding like that. You just want to go with the flow, go the opposite direction. It was so close. It was nerve-wracking. I don't want to drive in the rain for a while. Not am I the good driver or was the BMW the good driver? This is scary to drive without the tires. I don't know.
What first world problems where you be like, man, I can't drive unless I'm in my BMW X5, all of the other, peasants out there with your Nissans and your Hyundais,
Versa.
but Yeah, please let me get in my BMW so I can successfully drive in the rain. Sound like a true Southern Californian, to be honest with you. You belong back down here, Rome, probably in Orange County. You could have said it would have been your like Land Rover or something like that. You'd have been talking.
I actually do like Land Rovers. I would love to have a Land Rover. That and the G Series cars. Oh my god, I get too excited about those cars. Every time I see one on the road,
you start drinking yourself off when you see one on the road, Rome. Is that?
Oh my god, they're so pretty, man. They're pretty cars. They're great. Land Rovers are hard to work on, though. I have not had any success working on them so far on friends' cars. We've jacked them all up, so that'll be next on the list. All right. Anyways, back to college football real quick. I was nervous about the Texas pick, and every right to. Georgia has whipped their ass every single week. They're just bigger, tougher. They have not looked good. Archie Manning had an okay game, but other than that, that was not good. Did you call the BYU game?
Yeah, I did like BYU.
It was nice. Utah, though.
Yeah, Utah
pounced on Baylor.
Yeah,
that was really bad. I saw part of the UCLA game, and I'm just after that Penn State one. They have not showed up really since at Penn State. Ole Miss had a tough one against Florida. A lot of the rumors that Lane Kiffin has 1 foot out the door. They've seen his family visiting spots.
Yeah, they visited in Florida and they've also Sunday been in Florida and Louisiana today, right?
Yeah, he's not staying, dude. Fuck.
I think they gave him an ultimatum. He has to have it up by the time they play the Egg Bowl or something like that. That just came out
today, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Why would they do that?
I believe the 28th, November 28th.
What's up with college football? Just like, can we just finish the season?
You can't now. This transfer portal and everything.
It's dumb. Then change it.
Problem is you have the transfer portal and high school recruiting signing classes. Because the early signing period is what, December, the first week of December. It used to be the first week of February. They just had one. And then the transfer portal starts on January 2nd, and they only have one of those. So the playoff starts the 31st and the 1st. So
they should have the offseason for college football and like high school just start January 15th. That's it. Bam. Just set it, standardize it, so we don't have to deal with this shit.
In an ideal world, but this is major college football we're talking about, so money talks, and it's going to go through. It's an interesting timing considering where Ole Miss is right now within, potentially getting to the college football playoff if Lane does leave.
You guys think Lane leaves?
It's looking like it. You're right, dude. I thought he signed that extension on it, and it was just like all fake. But they were chanting for Lane Kiffin. He looked really nervous on the sideline. I'm just like, dude, he doesn't look like a guy that's going to be staying there after this year. He'll stay for a playoff, but I don't know.
He's gone. I think he's gone. I think if he doesn't, I don't think if he signs by the 28th, he will be released of his contract.
Really?
I think Ole Miss is going to pull the trigger.
Somebody was throwing that rumor around, and I don't know who. I'm just like, why would they do that?
So you think if they're in the college football playoff, they just relieve him of this contract? And
somebody threw that rumor.
Yes.
Yesterday.
So I think I think Charlie Weiss Jr. is going to take over. I don't think this is a bad move for Mississippi because you save a lot of money not giving him a long-term. I mean, he's never made the playoff before.
See the OC?
It's only the second year.
Lane Kiffin's been at Ole Miss for how many years?
4 or 5.
Feels like longer.
Yeah, it feels longer.
He was at Tennessee.
He was at Tennessee for 1 year and then
Tennessee
jumped ship
was like 15 years ago. He's at Tennessee.
Yeah. So I think, look at Rome. You said it, and we've all said it. Mississippi's giving him everything he wants. So the fact that they gave him this hard deadline, I don't know if the AD is gonna step up, but I would relieve him. LSU, whatever can get him, and then I think
2020.
Yeah, so this is the 5th year then, right?
It's not that long. No.
Yeah, but he's lost a lot of games, and I think they're in the playoff regardless if they lose to Mississippi State or whatnot. We've seen a lot of these coaching carousels where guys are mentioned for jobs or teams kind of slip up. They almost did, against Florida here. I think he is. I think he's gone, whether it's LSU or the Gators. We'll see, but I think Charlie Weiss Jr., offensive guy calling the plays, why don't bring him in? You save a lot of money.
You know what? I'd like to see Lane not go to another college team. I like to come see him with the Giants. I'm kind of digging that.
I think a lot of it was coming out he wasn't interested in the pros.
Yeah.
Just no job security there.
I mean, there's not a lot of job security in college football.
Yeah, but
too,
you get the buyout's just too great to pass up.
That's fair. Well, if he's worried about that, I'd probably stay away from LSU because I'm not sure if you're going to get the buyout.
I mean, currently LSU's got like 4 coaches on staff, head coaches. They don't fire anybody. They just basically pitch you in a room and say, sign this contract or we're not going to let you out.
Dude, overall this past week, though, I did not like any game for picks. Michigan barely beat Northwestern.
And Rome, we talked about liking Northwestern. We talked about a lot of games we liked that we didn't because they're just too close. But this upcoming week in college games is tough as well.
My notepad did have Texas Tech, by the way. I messed up while I was driving down.
Texas Tech was a nice one. I like that.
Oklahoma, big win.
You guys agree that Texas? Do you guys agree with Texas losing that they're done? They're not going to the playoffs now, regardless if they beat A&M. I don't think they're going to the playoffs.
Oh, 3 losses. There's no way they're in.
I think Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma. If they win out, it's in the playoff.
Oklahoma has some really good wins,
and they end with Missouri and LSU at home. I think the SEC is getting 5 teams. It would be what A&M, Ole Miss, Bama, Georgia, and Oklahoma if they win out.
I think Texas has a chance to beat Texas A&M. So
I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but it doesn't do anything for me. They're out. They're done. It's not going to be enough.
Let's see what the playoff rankings come up with later today.
Yeah, I think if you're talking 11-1 Texas A&M, like they're still in, and I think at that point, like looking at what the SEC championship game is, like do they clinch their spot in the SEC championship game right now? Because they're
their next game is a non-conference game. They're 7-0 in the conference, right? So
yeah, so I don't know. I guess Ole Miss, Bama, Georgia's 7-1 already.
It'd become the highest ranked teams. So I mean, for A&M, it's not a bad thing not to get into the SEC title game if they lose to Texas. I mean, obviously they're going to win it.
Yeah. And no one's as close.
I don't know. State. Everything's already circling. Aaron's probably 5 SEC teams that you're looking at. ACC, Big 12, each getting 1. I'll say the Miami contingent. I still see that on Twitter, just going crazy over Notre Dame. That 2-loss Notre Dame gets in.
Miami's only chance was Oklahoma had to lose to Bama because that would have eliminated them from the playoff.
Yeah, Miami's all out of how does Notre Dame and Miami both have 2 losses, and Miami's got the head-to-head, and why is Notre Dame automatically in? And Miami can win out and still not get in because they might not get into the ACC championship game.
I don't think Miami's going to get in. Virginia, Georgia Tech, likely the teams are Georgia Tech, Virginia, likely the teams that get in. The Big Ten's Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, USC. If they win out, would get that. That'd be 9. Then you get the ACC, the Big 12. I mean, it could be interesting because if USC wins out, they probably still don't get in because I think you got to take Notre Dame over SC because they beat them middle of the season by 10 points.
Well, what about Michigan? What if they win out? They beat Ohio State again at the end of the year.
That wouldn't surprise me if they beat them, but they're not getting in. I mean, they got losses against USC. Yeah, they're not getting in Michigan.
They lost to USC and Oklahoma.
Yeah, they're not getting in because Indiana's going to the championship Big Ten, and Ohio State would still get in, I believe. So we'll see.
Yeah, we had a bad week. We're like basically our season is done, right?
I mean, we got 2 more weeks, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
All right.
And then decide we want to do college, pro, or both next year, or one or the other. Maybe go pros because that it's a little more money, but less picks. You don't have to choose from 50 games.
How do the pros work?
The same. 5 games against the spread.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's only 5 instead of 7.
Oh, I don't mind that.
What do you guys think of James Franklin at Virginia Tech?
I have no opinion.
Is that official?
Yeah.
Yeah. So his buyout now is $8 million.
Yeah, $8-9 million now.
Yeah. I think it's a good move for him, but I don't know if he's using this for a stepping into another job. But I mean, it in a competitive ACC, and Virginia Tech's got a rich history. I think it could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious what the contract is when it comes out because Rome, like you said, I mean, his buyout now is $8-9 million with Penn State, so that means at least Virginia Tech's giving him at least $40 million or something.
Well, a lot of these buyouts are contingent. Like if you take another job, then it eliminates a lot of that. It's like,
yeah, I mean, it eliminates. I don't know if it eliminated that much. I think James Franklin did maybe him a favor. I mean, you're talking from,
probably.
you're talking from 49 to 9 million. That's what, 80%?
Yeah, but like, so let's say like, what's the year average you think he's getting at Virginia Tech?
I think Virginia Tech probably gave a 6-year, probably $8 to $9 million contract. So probably he's getting 54 mil over 6 years.
I can't remember the equation of how.
Because Virginia Tech, supposedly they passed their board of trustees. They're going to have 225 million over the next 4 years into the athletic department.
Yeah.
So whatever facility, infrastructure, NIL, all that for all their athletics. You got to imagine 80% of that's going to go towards college football. I mean, 75, 80% is kind of normal for these powers. So that's an average of about $40 million a year they're going to spend on roster and everything here in college football. So, I mean, if that's the case and Franklin can recruit, Virginia Tech could become a serious player in the next 2 years or something again. Because it's really all money. It's really all money in college football. If you're willing to invest money-wise, like Indiana, like you get the right coach, you get some players and invest money-wise, you can come back and be good in a year or two. That's what transfer portal is, but you still got to recruit high school kids and whatnot. And Franklin can recruit. So I think it's a good, safe move because Virginia Tech's happy with 8, 9, 10 wins a year. I mean, you're golden there. They haven't been good since Frank Beamer left. So
was it like 9 years ago?
I think he retired in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
I mean, Virginia Tech, Mike Vick, those were the golden years there.
Mike Vick, dude. I remember the Mike Vick years, yeah.
I mean, it was an interesting stat because they came over. I think they came over the same time with Miami from the Big East, if I'm not mistaken. They've won four ACC titles during that range. I mean, Jaeson always points out Miami's won none, and Miami, oh my God, we should be in the playoff. Miami, go F yourself, guys.
Dude, I miss all these old conferences, man.
I miss the old Big East. The
Big East ain't coming back.
Basketball, Jesus. We still got it in basketball. Still got UConn. Yeah, still got St. Johnny's.
I don't know how UConn football doesn't get into a conference. They play D1, but they can't get into the conference anywhere.
They've been trying. They were trying to get into. Well, they were looking to leave Big East in basketball to go to the Big 12, but the Big 12 didn't want them because they didn't want the football program. So they basically denied them on that. And I think the Big 12 ended up taking Gonzaga in basketball. I think Gonzaga joins the Big 12.
Isn't it weird
I don't know
how
if
you
it's
can just
this year or
be
next
in different
year.
conferences, like for different sports? Like,
well, Notre Dame's in the ACC in basketball.
Well,
maybe for every other
Fullerton,
sport.
They were in the Mountain West, but also in the Pac-12 for several of the sports.
Are they still the Big West? Is that still a conference for basketball?
Mountain West.
But now it's the Big West, right?
Big West. It's the Big
West.
West.
It's Big West now. Yeah, Big
No,
West.
There's the Mountain West.
Yeah,
Mountain West is
West.
UNLV, Boise State. Big West is UCI, Cal State Fullerton, Long Beach State.
Yeah, then I know like a handful of their sports that are in the Pac-12. It's so weird, or at least it was like that. That doesn't make any sense to me, man.
It runs differently. I think Notre Dame it depends on the sports because not every school has every sport. I think Notre Dame, like you said, they're ACC basketball. They have an ACC partial agreement in football, but they're not in the conference. And I'm pretty sure they're in the Big Ten hockey conference.
That's retarded. All right.
Yeah, and there was a school. I think it's basketball. I can't remember. There's another school like kind of switching conferences. Or Coach K was wanting the ACC to become like a super league in college basketball, but it's like impossible to do because it would mess up the football conference stuff.
All right. I'm tapped out on football, guys.
All right. We'll save it for later then.
Yeah. Any final comments? No. Let's hope for a better week, I guess, in college football then.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks left, man. 2 weeks left. I got 3 picks this week. Jaeson and Rome with 2 each. So I think Jaeson should just go back to Clemson and Notre Dame. And Notre Dame's like a 35-point favorite against whoever they're playing. I saw
Syracuse.
Yeah, that's 35-point spread.
It's actually a play I was gonna do. I think Syracuse is starting a walk-on quarterback.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
And you know Notre Dame wants to keep blowing people out looking impressive because Miami supposedly is so great. So
if they blew Pittsburgh out by that much, like why not?
Yeah, Syracuse has been ever since they lost their quarterback to that torn Achilles or whatever he had back against, I think it was against Pittsburgh or somebody, like Syracuse has just been
Alabama's playing Eastern Illinois too. Like whatever that is, I'll take it.
Eastern Illinois?
Yeah.
That's I think it's Tony Romo's alma mater.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, we can pencil in Notre Dame then. We'll see what the spread comes out Wednesday for Aaron.
On Wednesday.
You know, it may be a Clemson and Notre Dame week. Regardless of what happens, we'll just throw it against the wall. You know.
Is there any other breaking?
Might as well.
Is there any other news that came out this past week? I feel like I want to talk about something, but I can't think of it right now.
As far as teams, coaches, or what?
I don't know, man.
You
It
said
sounds
you
like
were-
you're in
you
space,
said-
though.
Well, you said you were done with football, Rome, so I think
that's
that's
Yeah, I might just crash out right now. I've been up since 4:30.
Yeah, I didn't realize it's already 12:30, Rome. I didn't even realize it was that late.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it then. Thanks for the football recap. All recap: NFL, college football, week 12, week 11. We'll be back with
all winning week in the NFL,
an
man.
all winning week. We're still up for the year, right?
In what, college?
Yeah.
We're like around. Yeah, for the games of the week.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, cool. All right, cool.
That's a gimme.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So games of the week coming out Thursday on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We'll do some more Lions. That comes out on Friday. And then I think we'll probably do a Las Vegas preview as well for the Grand Prix F1.
I think the preview's been stated here for about a month. We are on George Russell to win, and that's where we're going.
Yeah.
I'll begin to Caesars early Friday morning and putting some wagering down on George Russell.
Caesars? Dude, I've never lost in blackjack at Caesars.
Caesars is a good place.
Well,
I like Caesars.
Let's translate that luck to me, and we'll see what happens.
The worst I did though, it was like back in college. I lost like $2,500 like in a matter of like a couple of hours. It was like my rent money. So I took out like the last $600 in my bank account and just like won everything back. I was drugged up all night, but I made that money back and some. Got the buffet, got the room, had a good time and drove my ass away. That was the last time I really gambled heavily until I played blackjack with Aaron a couple years ago at Circa. It was my first time like in a decade. It was pretty cool. And I didn't even want to leave because we were doing pretty good.
Yeah, it was like 1 a.m., but we had to get up like at 4 to leave the next morning, right?
So I can see my daughter, yeah. If it wasn't for my daughter, I'd be still there.
It's like one of those things like, hey, we either go to bed now or just keep going.
Yeah, we should have kept on going, actually.
We were doing pretty good that night.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it. Source from the Sofa. Check us out on the socials. Check us out, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. We are out.